Have you ever heard the saying, music is subjective? Well, it's actually the reason why there's so much lovable artists and songs. It's really the reason why people enjoy music so much to begin with and why people have different opinions on those songs and artists. One musical artist that has really stood out to me, honestly, and that person is Yuno Miles. He's made the most incredible songs like Martin Luther King and Indiana Jones, which are fairly enjoyable tracks if I'm being honest. Critics alike that rate his music, such as people like Anthony Fantano, who he's actually been a feature with for Miles for actually quite a bit. He was actually supposed to be a feature for Miles' new album, which is called Album, and which I honestly think is pretty good. Like the song's enjoyable. I think if Fantano and Miles were like Kobe, maybe LeBron, if they were both on a team together. I know it doesn't sound right. I don't watch basketball, but like hear me out, okay? Recent turn of events, Anthony Fantano reviewed his album and gave it a 0 out of 10, even though he was featured in it. And obviously, this angered Miles deeply. Him so much that he decided to diss Anthony Fantano in his new song, Anthony Fantano, which is what I'm going to be breaking down word for word, bar for bar, and even what is going on in the song and some hidden elements that are in the diss too. First thing I notice from the song is that the instrumental is very catchy. It's a very upbeat, giving you false sense of hope in the song, which makes it an incredible like manipulative move, making you think that the song is gonna be innocent and happy, but really it's gonna be the most devastating thing for Anthony Fantano's career. Miles actually starts hopping on the track and starts making some very noticeable but very devastating bars. Anthony Fantano, use a bitch. And it's so deep. It shows how Anthony Fantano is really just a terrible person and how he hates Miles and is a master manipulator, okay? I think is fairly devastating to Anthony Fantano's career is my album bald, you bald, which isn't wrong. That's a bar, okay? Miles' album is arguably album of the year, okay? Anthony Fantano is just a bald old dude talking about To Pimp a Butterfly is the best album. What are you talking about? Album's the best album of all time, bro. Okay? Anthony Fantano is bald as hell, okay? So it's really a bar, just talking about he's old, and it's really some sort of Kendrick diss, like making fun of Anthony Fantano's, you know, disability. That's what we'll call it. Bar I noticed off the song, which is just absolutely incredible. You the reason my album's a 0 out of 10. And then he comes out and says, I'm the reason my album is a 0 out of 10, which is a genius bar from Miles. It shows Anthony Fantano how awful of a rapper he is, paired with being how awful of a person he is. But it also shows how Anthony Fantano purposefully made Miles a worse rapper because of his presence, which really goes on to show the deepness and the levels he has on his bars, which I think is just really, really genius of him. Which I think is the best moment off this track is Anthony Fantano himself gets on the diss and starts apologizing to Miles with how devastating that 1 minute of incredible bars did to him, talking about how his album is better than Vulture's 1. It's better than any Taylor Swift album. It's better than Vulture's 2, which is arguably the best album of all time. And it's talking about how it's literally top 5 of all time. And it's just such an incredible feature. It's such an incredible move from Miles. And that's one of the reasons why this record is so incredible. And Miles ends off the diss, continuing to make fun of Miles with the bars, Miles, use a bitch, you know what I'm saying. So, That's the song. And me personally, this is better than any Kendrick diss, better than any Tupac diss, better than any Biggie diss. It's better than anything that's ever come out making fun of a rapper. It's better than any Drake diss, which is understandable. Drake's kind of bad at disses, all right? It's better than any Taylor Swift stuff. It's better than anything anyone's ever made. Better than Michael Jackson, okay? And that's one of the reasons why I love this record so much. There's so much levels to it, the bars that goes with it, the amount of incredible hits Anthony took. I think this is going to end his career, but I'm just going to have to see if he comes back with a diss of his own. Yeah, that's kind of all I got to say about this record. Um, I mean, what more can I say? It's an incredible record. I think it's going to really wreck Anthony Fantano's career. And yeah. That's all I gotta say. If I were to rate this record, I would give it a very, very good, okay? Which is supposed to be an 11 out of 10. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say.